Maybe some of you have had the experience of gathering prayer intentions with groups of children. I remember very well being in school, first grade, second grade, third grade, the teachers asking everyone for their prayer intentions. Like there's always some kids who have more prayer intentions than others. Someone's praying for their dog, someone's praying for this. It seemed like we were always praying for someone's grandparent who had cancer. And so very early on, like the teachers, I remember they had to address, well, like how do we address questions of answered prayer or seemingly unanswered prayer? It's a difficult thing to explain, especially to a child. Well, how do we make sense of this? I remember once a teacher saying, well, God always answers, but sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no, sometimes the answer is not now. And that kids took that more or less well, like it made sense to us at the time. And I think today we look at the gospel and we can see Mary, she receives an answer that may not be entirely satisfying to her initially at first, right? Where she asked for something. She asked, pointing out that they don't have wine. And Jesus says, "Woman, how does your concern affect me? My hour has not yet come." But imagine Mary, she not only is concerned about the wedding, she's concerned about the wine, she's concerned about the guests, she's also concerned about her son. Like, I think it makes sense that, like, what we heard in the first reading, I can hear Mary's voice in this. For Zion's sake, I will not be silent. For Jerusalem's sake, I will not be quiet. And like we were singing in the psalm, like, proclaim his marvelous deeds to all the nations. Like, Lord, don't you see there are all these problems right here in people that I care about, people that you care about, and you are amazing. I'm beginning to know who you are. You're my son. You have all this power. So why is it not your hour? Why is it not your hour? And I think that's, whether it's a second grader asking, like, why is my prayer not answered? That's a question that resonates with many of us today. Well, Jesus, why isn't it your hour? If you're so good and you have so much power, why do we not receive these answers to our prayers, to our needs? Right? We ask at times for health and for healing, but it seems to be an hour of illness. We ask for peace in the world, even when it seems to be an hour where war is prevailing. We ask for peace in our homes, even when it seems to be a time of division. And we ask for holiness and virtue when it seems to be an hour rather of darkness, where vice and sin seem to have the upper hand. The one image that I think can be helpful in making sense of this is looking back at Mary, and how does Mary respond when she's in that situation? When she receives a response from Jesus that to many of us may not make sense. We can remember one of the images that we have for Mary is that she is a stella maris in Latin, right? She is a star of the sea. Where does that come from? What do we mean that she's a star of the sea? Well, what we mean is, if you're out on the ocean, imagine the olden days, you're out on a ship that moves by the wind, and at night it's dark. You don't have artificial lights. You don't have a GPS system, right? And if it gets stormy, if there's wind and waves and it's dark and it's tumultuous and everything is insecure and everything is unstable, you need to know, well, at least am I going the right direction? Am I not going to go into land? Am I not going to wreck on a coral reef? I need to know where I'm going. And if I have one star and I know that star, I can be oriented in the right direction. And so for many of us, in moments that are dark, where we don't understand, Mary serves as that one point of light. Like, I don't see many other things, but I see her, and she helps me be pointed in the right direction. And that's what she's doing in spades right here in this gospel passage, because she's telling everyone around her, do whatever he tells you. She's teaching us something about how we should act in those situations when everything is unstable, everything is dark, it seems to be dark around us, and we don't know what to do. She points us in the right direction, and she says, do whatever he tells you. So she teaches us to have a total trust in Jesus and a complete candor. We don't have to hide anything from him. We can keep presenting our petitions. We can keep letting him know what our needs are, but trusting he's Jesus. He's going to see us through. And that's how Mary, with her light, she points us toward her son. And that's why she's not just a star of the sea. We can also think of Mary as a morning star. Sometimes it's dark, and she may be all that we can see clearly in that moment. But there's one star that's announcing to us things are about to change. It may be night, we may be on the sea, there may be a lot of waves, but the dawn is coming. The dawn is coming. And in a little bit, maybe I won't see the stars clearly because everything will be filled with light. And we can see that here. Something new is happening. A new sun is rising. It's the beginning of Jesus' ministry. There's a confusion, there's a darkness there, but light is beginning to dawn. And Mary doesn't just announce it like we can see she's like the daughter of Zion announcing that he's coming. She hastens it. She makes it come more quickly. She's inviting Jesus, saying, "Come, Lord Jesus, come. Show your glory, show your power, show your goodness. I know it's there. Come into this world." She longs for his hour. She announces his hour. She hastens his hour. So today, I think we have an invitation. We're here at Mass. And so with Mary, we'll pray later right before communion. We'll pray the Lord's Prayer. So we can pray with her, right? We'll pray, "Lord, may your kingdom come." So wherever we're at, whatever darkness we're in, we can pray with Mary, "Lord, may your kingdom come." We want that hour to come right now. And we know she's pointing us toward Jesus, and we know that his hour is coming. And we know that when his hour comes in our life, he saves the best wine for last. And just like a bridegroom rejoices in his bride, Jesus rejoices in his people. Because this dawning of something new is the dawning of the revelation that Jesus is here because he loves us. And he is here to unite himself to his people. There's more than one wedding happening there as he reveals his glory. In his hour, Jesus reveals his glory, and all the darkness will fade away.